if you're a young entrepreneur and you just started out your business, there are days that are going to come where you start feeling lost. You start feeling stuck. You start feeling like you're not going anywhere and you don't know what you're doing. You start developing these doubts and you start questioning yourself as to whether this is going to work out or not, because you quit your job, you went all in on the business, and you don't see the lights at the end of the tunnel. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't experienced this as an entrepreneur, then brace yourself, because this is going to hit you like a brick wall. Because almost every entrepreneur that has seen success in the real world has experienced these things. As a matter of fact, this is a prerequisite for success. And you should pray that you experience these things sooner rather than later. Because if you experience this early on in your entrepreneurial career, then this is going to help you develop the mental strength and the fortitude to become successful in business. Because you would rather figure out if you are cut out for entrepreneurship early on than later, because you're just going to be wasting time. You're just going to be suffering and you're going to be wasting time. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to suffer in business. I get it. It's not for everyone. It is stressful. But if you can't handle the stress that comes with business and success, then might as well just become an employee. I mean, there's nothing wrong about working a 9 to 5. You have to make ends meet, whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with working a job. But if you feel like you're cut out for something more in life and you want to try becoming an entrepreneur and achieving freedom, because what an entrepreneur is that you're using your own resources. You're trading it for freedom, essentially. You're trading your own money, your resources to achieve freedom, because you're not trading your time and your freedom for money. You're trading your own money to get freedom. And entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I agree. Everyone could try becoming an entrepreneur, but if you're not cut out for it, then you're not cut out for it. Some people crumble and fall. Some people can't handle stress. It's like boxing. If you get punched in the face, how will you react? Because that's pretty much how entrepreneurship is. If you get punched in the face, how can you solve that problem? Because entrepreneurship is just about solving problems. And if you can't deal with the stress and the problems, then maybe you're not cut out for it, because you are getting paid to solve problems. That's what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur solves problems and they get paid a lot of money. The bigger problems that they solve, the more money that they make. But going back to my point, where you start feeling lost, you start feeling stuck, you don't know where you're going, you don't know if this is going to work out or not. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. The reason why you're feeling that is because you just haven't built enough momentum. You haven't found your flow yet. And it is completely normal. But I'm going to tell you that it's very, very hard to gain momentum. But if you follow the principles that the Japanese people have, which is Kaizen. Kaizen is essentially just incremental improvements, putting in work every single day. No matter how small it is, if you become 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, if you're consistent, you're going to be 365% better than everyone else, especially to your old self who just sits on the couch and does nothing. You're going to become significantly better. But momentum requires consistency. If some days you show up, some days you don't, that's not how you build momentum. And picture momentum as an airplane taking off. When an airplane takes off, it goes as quickly as possible. It goes very, very fast. The velocity in which you should have, the speed and velocity that you need to have to gain momentum, is essential. Because if you just show up some days you don't feel like it, some days you just stay at home, some days you show up, I mean, that's not how you build momentum. And I had a previous video where I was explaining that I just work 2 hours a day. Look, it doesn't matter if you put in 30 minutes a day. if you show up every single day and you're putting incremental outputs of work, then that's going to compound and you're just building momentum, because not every day you feel good. As a matter of fact, I don't feel good every day. I still show up though, because I have to. Because if I don't, then I lose momentum, and momentum is very difficult to gain. So just follow the Japanese principle, the law of incremental improvements. Put in work every single day. And I am going to teach you guys 3 principles that I used in my life, which made my life significantly better. So these 3 principles are the inputs, the outputs, and the rest. Because burnout is real. Burnout is real. You can't work 24 hours in a day. I guarantee you. I mean, you can try, but that's not sustainable. You're probably going to die soon. Right? So the inputs is the amount of knowledge that you put in every day. Learning books, reading about certain information, watching videos on YouTube. These are inputs. Knowledge that you're putting in your mind. Outputs, these are the amount of work that you put out. And depending on how much you want to put out throughout the day, let's say, for example, you delegate 1 hour of inputs and 1 hour of outputs, which is what I do. And then after that, you can just rest. And rest could be something like going to the gym, or taking a walk, or running a marathon, right? Because you need to be healthy as well. Because your body is the vehicle that you're going to be using to make money. If this is not healthy, then what's success? What's money? How can you enjoy your time with your family? How can you enjoy your freedom if you're sick, if you're staying in bed, if you're bedridden, and you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor? You can't enjoy the time that you spend with your family because your body doesn't allow you to. So that's pretty much the 3 principles that I use. Inputs, because you're always going to be learning. And learning doesn't stop after you finish school. Learning is continuous. You learn every single day. And if you stop learning, then you stop growing. Outputs, the amount of work that you put out, because you have to work. You have to put in work. It doesn't matter if you work 30 minutes in a day. You have to put in work. You have to call your clients. You have to check emails. You have to check your team. You got to check the spreadsheets. And then rest. Rest could be going to the gym, lifting weights, taking care of your body, going out for a walk, clearing your mind, smoking a cigar, whatever the case may be. If you have these 3 things and you work on these 3 things every single day, I guarantee you, your life is going to become better. 100%. Just try it out for yourself. I used it for my own self, and it significantly improved my life. It took away a lot of anxiety. It took a lot of doubt out of my life, because I was consistent, and consistency builds momentum. And once you have momentum, once you figure out your flow, it's going to feel amazing. Trust me, it's going to feel amazing. Especially when that money hits your bank account, it's going to feel way better than if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling like everything is falling apart. Because all that it takes is just 1-2 deposits in your bank account. All that it takes is for you to start building muscles if you're consistently going to the gym. Once you start seeing results, that's all that it is. But this has to be balanced. This has to be balanced. Because if you're just doing inputs, for example, if you're reading a lot of books and you're just reading, you're not putting outputs, you're not taking action. You have information and knowledge, but this becomes obsolete. This becomes useless. Because all you have is information. You don't have application. Therefore, you're not making any money. Congratulations, you're a smart person, but how are you going to make money with that information? This has to be balanced. And if you're not taking rest, your body is going to deteriorate. So this has to be balanced. In order for you to live a happy life, this has to be balanced. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to. Just have these 3 things balanced. Start taking action now. Peace out, guys. Take care.